All right, here we are again, horse racing fans, looking at another race card for another Kentucky Derby prep race for this fabulous weekend. On March 6th at Santa Anita, we have the San Felipe Stakes. I'm going to run through the card, going through races. I'll go through races 6 through 11, kind of go through the jackpot pick 6, give you my top pick, my second pick, and a long shot play for each race, and I will dive into the San Felipe Stakes and give a little bit more in-depth race analysis. One great thing is the jackpot, or Rainbow Pick 6 jackpot, starts off with the Santa Anita San Felipe Stakes in race 6. And this is where you could possibly use a single if that was what you were going to do in here. As the number 1, 4 to 5 morning line favorite is Life is Good for Bob Baffert and Mike Smith. And here we go. A lot of people have been talking about this horse. I've kind of caught some slack not having him in on my top 5 or top 10 as number 1. So if he wins this race in decent fashion, maybe he could crack that be number 1 on my top 5 and top 10. So definitely one that I have in there, but I just haven't had him on my number 1, I guess, for the past 3 episodes. So he's done everything right. He's been undefeated. He's beat the other company in here of the Baffert horse, Medina Spirit, son out of Into Mischief. Has Mike Smith riding him in all of his races. Won the Grade 3 Sham last time out. Just looks to be another one of Bob Baffert's super horses in here for Windstar Farm. So really hasn't done anything wrong. I really can't dissect too much. I mean, raced twice. Like I said, won last time out going a mile. Stretching out a little bit further here, going a mile and 16th. But I don't think he'll have any issues coming in here. Could be an easy layup for him, looking towards possibly the Santa Anita Derby. I believe is where Bob's going to try to point him at to get the majority of his Kentucky Derby prep points. So that's probably where he's headed after here if he shows up and does what he's supposed to do. So I'm going to try to beat him. It's going to be tough, but if any of them can do it, it's going to be the other Baffert horse in Medina Spirit, number 3, with John Velasquez, who also won last time out. In great fashion, kind of held gamely, set the pace. So probably one that's going to set the pace again here, or it's going to be a battle with Life is Good to set the pace. Has that experience running a mile and 16th where it ran that in the Robert Lewis the last time out. It seems to be posting some decent workouts here. Going 6 furlongs, went handily in a minute 11. So one to keep an eye on as well. But I think it's a two horse race with those two. But I'm also going to throw in a long shot here to get some money. It probably will be a long shot because a lot of those other twos are going to take money. Is Roman Centurion for Simon Cowell, 8-1 on the morning line. Finished second behind Medina Spirit last time out, and finished 4th to Life is Good first time out for this horse. So definitely one that's improved and maybe could continue to improve coming in here. But it's going to have to improve a lot to beat either one of those two. But maybe one that I like for a little bit of price to use as underneaths. Here we go. Start of the pick 5. We got race 7, a mile on the turf. This is just a $78,000 allowance. My top pick in here is going to be number 2, Whisper Not, for Richard Baltus and Flavion Pratt. I was on the fence about taking number 3 in here as well, but I'll probably use him in pick 5s and pick 4s, just because it's won 4 out of 4 in 2020 and kind of got off to a wrong start here in 2021, but definitely one that could easily improve and cause some problems for Whisper Not. So maybe one that I'm going to throw in, but I think Whisper Not is definitely the top of the class, running in some big graded stakes races in the past, and seems to be the high class coming in. My second pick, must be on the rail. Must not have picked a second pick. So we're going to go with my long shot pick, who must be my second pick in here. It's Tiberius Mercurius for John Sheriff with Jessica Pfeiffer. Ran in some smaller allowance races, $40,000 in the maiden. races, but definitely has some good speed numbers that's posted in the past 2 races. So one to keep an eye on if this seems to be a speed race. But there's a lot of other good horses in here. I just like the connections here, and is a decent price for what this horse has ran in the past. So I'm going to use it. But any of these other horses that are under 5-1 are ones to watch and probably use in your pick 5 to kick it off, and to keep your pick 6 rolling if you were to single Life is Good in the first leg. Here we go. Race 8, the San Carlos Stakes, going 7 furlongs. Here you have number 1, Storm the Court, coming back. I'm going to leave him off here, and I'm going to go elsewhere. I'm going to go to the outside. And number 9, Tigra de Slugo for Mike Pupe and Joel Rosario. Sorry. Has good speed, 108 last time out, ran second, and 101 time before that in an allowance. Finished second in that race back, a stakes race. $150,000 sprint with Rosario aboard there. Got beat out by Brickyard Ride, who's another horse I will probably use in here, is the 6th. Just the only reason I didn't put that as my top pick was because the consistency. It's won 3 out of its last 4, but they were some smaller allowance races, where Tigre de Slugo ran in the Sensation Stakes as well with Flavion Pratt, got beat out by Lieutenant Dan. But again, probably another wide open race. Coming in here too, and a horse that I'm going to use in my pick 5, pick 4s, and pick 6 is going to be number 7, Exalted, for Mike Smith and Peter Yurton. 10-1 on the morning line out of Twirling Candy. The horse is 1-1 for 2021, so won last time out, and $40,000 allowance for non-winners of 1. And I think the horse is hitting its right strides at the right time. So definitely one that could just continue to improve and get better and come into this race, and be a big price for those pick 4s and pick 5s. Race 9, going a mile on the turf, the Frank E. Kilrow Mile Stakes, a Grade 1 stakes race. As you can see, my second choice in here is going to be Smooth Like Straight, 4-1 morning line favorite for Mike McCarthy and Umberto Rispoli. The horse was 7-4-2 in 2020, getting his first start in 2021, coming off a big win in the Breeders' Mile at Santa Anita, and also ran in the Twirling Derby, a Grade 2 stakes race at Santa Anita as well. My top pick is going to be on the outside, number 9, Ride a Comet, who's won the last 4 races in a row for Mark Cassey. Drayden Van Dyke's going to get the mount here. Won the Tropical Turf Grade 3 at Gulfstream Park last time out. And then going back, the last time the horse lost, got beat out by Raging Bull in the Hall of Fame Grade 2 at Saratoga. So definitely has speed, has probably the best class coming in here, with a high win percentage and very outstanding speed figures. My long shot's going to be 5 Spirit Animal for Chad Brown and Joel Rosario. Probably going to be a big long shot when it comes to it. Got beat out in the last race, is Grade 2 Seabiscuit, finished 6th, but still posted a good high speed figure in there. I think it was just too much of a hot pace and really couldn't amount to anything. Kind of came out 7th and really didn't rally enough, and I think the horse is definitely going to improve coming in. And I think with Joel Rosario aboard, Chad Brown went with him on the mountain. I think it's definitely a wise choice, and I think he'll figure out how to get number 5 Spirit Animal closer to the front than needed. The horse knows how to win. It's won a couple races back, so it just needs to be in the right position, I think, to contend with some of these class horses coming in. computer's being slow. Now, race 10, mile and a quarter, the Santa Anita handicap. This is a $400,000 race for 4-year-olds and up. This is where we have number 2, Maxfield, a very popular horse that just seems to get hurt at the wrong time. I believe the horse was supposed to go to the Saudi Cup or the Dubai Cup and then end up getting hurt or being pulled from that. It was supposed to run in last year's Derby, got hurt, was pulled from that. So here he is coming back, running into the Santa Anita handicap. He's undefeated, so we'll see what happens here. I think he's got a great setup for owners Go Dolphin and trainer Brandon Walsh. Thorangeru gets the mount yet again, and I don't see any issues here, and possibly one that you could easily single. Just the horse is in great form. Has a decent layoff coming in last race in February, so no issues with the mile and a quarter. So if you want a single Maxfield, go ahead. I possibly am going to single it. Just check the link in the description to see my full pick 5 and pick 4 after scratches and stuff to make sure that I keep him as a single in this sequence. My second pick is going to be number 5, Express Train. I just thought he had speed figures that probably were comparable to Maxfield. And just some of the quality races that he's ran seems to be one that could easily run with him as well. And then I was kind of thinking about number 1, Independence Hall, because he has the speed, but just has struggled to find the finish line. But he's ran against some good class horses like Maxfield, so one to consider as well if the budget allows. My long shot play, I'm probably going to go in Exacta with Maxfield and Tiz the Magician, just to get a little money in the bankroll from Richard Mandela. Drayden Van Dyke's getting them out here. The horse was beaten last time out by Express Train. It was kind of held second. It kind of set the pace, and I think it just kind of tired out a little bit and was ran down. So one that I feel like could set the pace in here again and basically say, catch me if you can. See if Maxfield can catch him. Boom, there's my Exacta. Hopefully a decent payout and Maxfield doesn't go crazy even money or more. And here is the nightcap, race 11 at Santa Anita, just a maiden special weight. I didn't mark this one, but I'm going to use number 3, Patron d'Oro, for Brian Corner and Flavion Pratt, first time starter. In here, purchased in the Keeneland September yearling sale for $300,000. Has posted some pretty good workouts. Seems to be training really well, and I think the horse being placed in here will do really well. And my other choice was going to be number 10, Following C, a Run Happy Colt for Bob Baffert and John Velasquez for Spinford Farm. Posted some good workouts comparable to my other top pick, so I'm definitely going to use him in here as well. And really can't go wrong. Bob Baffert, Johnny V, Spendthrift Farms. Should be a good horse there. And then my long shot play, I'm kind of torn between the 6, Vantage Point out of Uncle Mo for Abel Sadia, and number 1, Win Happy, a Run Happy Colt for Antonio Garcia with Ruben Fuentes to wrap up the pick 4, pick 5, and pick 6 sequence, and hopefully for a decent payout. So thanks for following. Thanks for listening. Make sure to hit the like button and hit that subscribe. Hopefully you win some money on these Kentucky Derby Prep Stakes race days, along with this big Santa Anita Park card for Saturday, March 6th. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes.